Hi, it's Karen from Black Swan Journals. First, I want to say how wonderfully touched I am by all of the interest shown in my channel. This is exactly what I wanted, to be part of the junk journaling community and art journaling community, and thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Secondly, I want to let you know I was quite unwell. I am better now, but all I could do was think about each day the next video and giveaway I promised. So here we are. I'm back. I'm feeling great. My heart is in it. I want to be here, and I'm so grateful. This is the journal that I'm giving away as a thank you. At the end of the video, on your screen, will be how to enter, the rules, and the winner announcement information. This journal has a sturdy hard cover, and it has been sealed. It has a stunning vintage Italian etched brooch. It also has a vintage lace pocket, and on the spine are upholstery fabrics that are really divine that I stitched together to cover the spine. And the measurements are 7.5 by 5 by 2. And here are a few things that didn't quite fit in the journal that are also included. You'll probably notice that all of the ephemera that we mass made in the last video is now been decorated and included for you in this journal. Here's one of the envelopes, and I turned it into a little wallet. And this piece here also didn't quite fit, and it's so lovely. I'm sure you'll find a beautiful place to put it. Also in the journal and on the cover are some things that we did not make together in the last video, but I wanted to include because they are so special to me. This tag is from a video I have called Gratitude on the Go. I kept this tag and one other, and now I know why. I had made 6 tags to hang out in the world as random acts of kindness. It'll be up on the screen at the end of the video in case you'd like to see it. And there's those pretty upholstery fabrics I was talking about. And some pretty paper charms on the end. There are 3 signatures. Each signature has 9 or 10 pages inside, which results in about 115 or 16 pages. The closure is just a simple crocheted lace. I had so much fun making this journal, and I really put my heart into it. So on the front cover, there's a long pocket with some wallpaper I found at a vintage store decoupaged on the front, an envelope from junk mail, this gorgeous piece of lace, and when I bought this, it was in a baggie of about 20 other pieces. I don't know if it was from a wedding dress or a tablecloth, but it's really lovely. Inside the envelope is a little piece of ephemera I found in a vintage shop. I've used all of the ephemera that we made in the mass making video, except for the 2 pieces that didn't fit that I showed in the beginning. Here's one of those envelopes that we made together, and there's a little extra journaling space on the back. Little ex libris included there for you. Nice big pocket there. There's also plenty of original, antique, and vintage ephemera included in this journal. Enter the postcard. This is a vintage postcard. It's from Connecticut in the States with beautiful white birch trees and blank on the back. I always love those, but I also love the ones with writing. It's so fun to see what people wrote and look at their penmanship. There's another little pocket on the front there. Some of the papers are digitals from the Graphics Fairy. Some are scrapbook papers. Some are papers that I made myself. Here's a floating pocket. I included a lot of floating pockets just in case you want to move them around or glue them down in your own way. Here's one of the cards I decorated. Tags, I guess, actually. And a few little goodies in the back to play with. And a lot of journaling space on the back of my tags as well, always. And I love this piece of ephemera here. It's like a farmer's ledger. And I love that it says egg record, you know, with the birds above, the graphics of the birds. And then there's some other neat things inside that talk about your yield and what you grew. And there's some really beautiful dictionary pages in here that are really, really thin and so pretty. The graphics on the dictionary pages are just beautiful. And that digital is also a graphics fairy. Here's another pocket. This I love. You know the bag toppers when you buy something at the store and they're on that little metal arm, you know, that little metal arm that's like a hook? I always take those off and make these little notebooks out of them. And here's a couple of little stamping I did in case you want to play and glue those down somewhere. Oh, here's a little dried flower that I found with that piece of ephemera that was in the envelope on the front cover. And I love this here. I don't know if you've heard of Brimfield, but it's a very old flea market in Massachusetts in the States. And that's from Brimfield. Here's a journaling tag I made for my self-care journal. I've included a few pieces from there, and I loved them so much, I wanted to give them away. And in this floating pocket is some birch from my property. I love including nature, tree bark, feathers, different things in my journals. And another one of the tags that we made from junk mail on the last video. Lots of journaling space as well, but it's also filled with tons of inspiration. I love to try to balance both. So here is a very sturdy tag I made. It's very thick, and it is a tree that I drew. It's a sugar maple from my yard. And here's another piece of vintage ephemera. And I believe it's stamped 1951 from Chicago, maybe, with a very curious list on the back. Yeah, Chicago, I think that said 51. And I love this spread. I don't know, it's the colors, I think. I just love it. And some more birch from my property. This pocket is actually very large. I just stuck that little skinny birch in there, but it's got a nice opening. And I love these little notebooks. I made this from some packaging. I guess you would say the overall theme of this journal is nature, but also inspirational quotes. Another pretty little tag there. Are those anise stars? I love this little piece of ephemera that I found. Well, that's not it right there. That's just a piece of packaging. But yeah, this was so cool to find. First of all, it has red typewriter ink. I don't believe I've seen that before. I'm sure it exists, but I just thought it was a cool find. And then what was written on there is so adorable. What a joy. And here's another piece from my self-care journal that I wanted to give away. And part of self-care for me is giving. So that's why I'm doing that. But yeah, it's a tag that I stamped and embossed and had some fun mixed media play with. This here is also from my self-care journal. I made myself another one. So you know how I was saying that my next video was going to be another mass making to build up your stash for ephemera? Well, a lot of these things are from that video. I'll still put that video out though, in case you want to see more ways that I mass make when I want to build up my ephemera stash. Here's an envelope from a vintage book page. It has Lupin on the front cover. And I love to do this with all my little scraps that are too small to use for other projects. I love to do little hole punches and little bows or any hearts, whatever you have, leaves, any little punches, and create confetti. Because whether I'm giving it away or it's in my own journal, I just love opening it up and spilling out the confetti. It's just, you know, a wonderful way to get happy all of a sudden. So I love to add gold accents or really any metallics. I love rose golds and antique golds. And I love this page too. It really makes me happy when I look at it. I hope it makes you happy too. If you like nature, I bet it does. And I just love that Graphics 45 company. They make the most lovely, lovely papers. So I left on the top who it was. And so that's another floating pocket for you with the deer on it there. And this was also in my self-care journal, but I thought it went so well with this page, so I included it for you. I love to forage in the woods, and I bring a basket when I do that. Here's another tag, and I left the back part with the watercolor there and the price because I thought it was cool. Another little pocket here. And another journaling tag that's blank on the back. Some beautiful papers, digital papers there. And some book pages from Kate Greenaway. There was a lot of talk about that. Also, I want to say I'm so sorry I haven't answered all the comments. Like I said, I got ill, and I got really ill, actually, really ill. And I just couldn't do anything but kind of hang on. But you know what? I'm feeling so much better, and I just wanted to get this video out to you as quickly as possible when I got better. And then I'm going to go back and answer all those comments because they meant the world to me. I didn't get to read them all because I got so sick. But anyhow, please believe that I will, and I'm going to respond to them all. I love to leave little pockets on the back of my tags. I don't always do it, but it's a quirk of mine. Oh, and I love this little antique book page, or it might just be vintage actually, not antique, but batters and doughs. Lots of recipes there. Yep, 100% handcrafted. Got your original here. I left some notes I took up on that left-hand corner. I don't know, I thought it was interesting just to leave little written things like that. And yeah, here's another journaling tag, and has a little pocket. And there's another journaling tag inside as well with the scrapbook papers of vintage numbers. That might be I don't know, is that a Tim Holtz paper? I don't know what that is. But anyway, there's more journaling space there for you. And another hidden paper clip there. And here's some more vintage wildflower pages. That's Wild Mint, the red one on the front. And I used a lot of metallic sprays too throughout. Lots of stamping, ink blending, hand tearing, and trying to be creative for you and for myself, right? Such a great outlet. And this paper here coming up on the right is a metallic paper, and it's really lovely, and it has a nice sound to it and a nice thickness. It's like a vellum, but it's metallic. More of those Kate Greenaway papers. And I also included this rabbit cutout from my self-care journal. But on the left here, I put a pocket down over some words on that book page and left all the blank for journaling space. And then I stamped and I colored it. And I also made this tag to fit inside the pocket. So I hope you find a good blend of plenty of writing space with a lot of visual wow to get us inspired and get us going. So I just want to explain here, the bunny is just simply underneath the belly band that I made, and he's just being held down by that washi tape, and he can come right out and you can do whatever you want with him. And I hinged his little feet on the next page to create a flip out with this adorable raccoon. And I did some stenciling here with some embossing powders and stamping, but left writing space for you. And on the right is another floating pocket. It's part of what we made together in the last video, as most of this is. This is also from my self-care journal. It's just something I wanted to include because I, again, thought it went so beautifully with this page, with the beavers. And there's lots of little tuck spots in here for you. Lots of inspirational words as well. And a little envelope here. Little piece of packaging inside that you can glue down and do whatever you want with. From the butter packaging, Kate's Butter. I love Kate's Butter. Thank you, Kate. Thank you so much, Kate. You make great butter. Cute turtles, and oh my gosh, I love that bear. And some more of those ultra fine, thin dictionary pages. And on the top here, all these things are just attached and loose for you to take off and play with and do whatever you want. There's a key, there's more birch, there's moth scrapbook paper, some vintage crocheted lace, and some fun packaging. Another little journaling tag with some sort of like a macrame cloth on the top. I love this page. I love that honey pouring into Make-A-Wish. And I want to tell you that this is just held on with washi, and you can take that right out, make a wish on the back, and do whatever you want with it. Little envelope there, more of that beautiful moth paper. Oh yeah, and it doesn't really show up great on the camera, but the back of that page, the background is so ethereal and beautiful. I love those soaps. I want one. That I couldn't really find a place for, so I just thought I would include it. It's also from the things we made together in the last video, and I just thought you might have a special spot for it. And this is an authentic Audubon page in the center of the signature. And this card has multi-layers on it. There's book page, there's multi-layers of stamping, more birch bark. I used to have a little space in an antique shop, and I sold things I made and vintage things and antique things, and my name was Black Swan, and I had a lot of tags left over from that, so I like to include them in my journals to use them up. There's another one of those pretty vintage wildflower ephemera pages, and another journaling card. And if you want to speak from your heart, there's an opportunity to do so on the back of that card. And this I wanted to show you and say, I just loved that, dear friends. I just loved that, and I highlighted it with little dots there because I feel like we're all becoming friends here, and this is exactly why I started this. So thank you so much. Here's the second gratitude on the go tag that I did not leave randomly as an act of kindness, and held on to these two for some reason, and I really think this was why. I did not know I was going to make this journal. I did not know I was going to give anything away, but I think I held on to these for this reason. So please let me know if you like the balance of inspiration and journaling space, or do you like to fill up your journals with mostly journaling space, or do you like really no writing space? Some people just have these gorgeous coffee table books that are just filled with the most beautiful fabrics and ephemera and laces, and they put them together so creatively. I also love that as well, but they're not really for writing. Here's another envelope, and this one has a little lace flip out there. And on the back, some more scrapbook papers, lots of inking, hand tearing. And inside, it's completely lined with vintage music paper, sheet music, and vintage book pages. Fun, fun. Also in the corners, I've got some scraps to make little clusters and protect the pages. Here's a little piece of a tablecloth that I cut off for you, vintage crocheted lace. And I love this tag. I love the meaning of this tag, and I hope you do too. And for me, it's symbolic with the bird out of the cage, and she was herself again. Not cooped up. I really do believe that nothing should be caged. Everything should be free and wild, and have free will. This book page here is so scrumptious. It's got the most lovely texture and thickness, and beautifully illustrated. Here's a nice big pocket with some more gold on the edge, metallic gold. It's a paste that I have. And don't you just love these? This is also an authentic piece of ephemera. It's so funny. Super thick. Do you put those in like a viewfinder kind of thing? I don't know what you do with those. But here I'm prompting you to color this corner pocket. Why not? Why not color on a vintage black and white book page with illustrations? That would be fun. Yeah, color right there. And some more embossing. And there, I just wanted to show you the inside of that pocket. And over here, I used a piece of the scrap paper and made a little tall journaling tag with this little side caddy pocket on the side there. And this tag is a portion of a watercolor that I did that I didn't think came out that great, but I didn't really mind this little portion. I thought it looked pretty, so I cut it up and used it. I also watercolored that bird and fussy cut him out and collaged him on top of the tag. I always love to throw a date in my journal, at least the year, because what if you fill it out and you forget to put the date? It might happen, you never know. So there you go, now you won't. And some more book pages from vintage books that I thought were hysterical. And there's that little pocket I was talking about to always take advantage of the perforation on packaging. And, you know, because a lot of people make those holes with a circle punch. And on the edge here, it did say, I really should have probably cut it off, you know, because it said like the graphics fairy or whatever. And instead I just stamped over it and I thought it looked really cool. Another floating pocket with some more packaging that we made on the video that I owe you, I believe. No, that one we did. That one was on the other video. I'm a little 6s and 7s still from being so sick. Here's an adorable authentic piece of ephemera from a record jacket with like things like Hall & Oates. Do you know Hall & Oates? I love Hall & Oates. Another little packaging, and from Kate's Butter. Lots of writing space. And if you want to own your story, here's an opportunity. Here's a cluster with some vintage lace in the scrap papers. Some stamping that's coming in the next video. How I did all that stamping and what I used and what I do. And other things are in that video too, how I made the cover. love this page. It really reminds me of a galaxy, and this is from my daughter's wedding, and I have a plethora of them that we did not use. And the sprays on here just look so galactic to me, and it's really pretty in person. You could glue something down there that meant something to you. You could put a pocket on that. You could use white gel pen, white Posca pen, white paint, pastel colored paints, and do something on it yourself. There's always opportunity to do beautiful work on dark colored papers. And here, that little washi tape comes up, flips up that little flap, and you can either put something in that way, or when you flip the page, this way. And one more pocket on the back cover for you to fill. I wanted to mention it might be a good idea to turn on the notification bell found in the description box in case you'd like to enter, and that way you'll know when I announce the winning. Thank you so much. I've had such a great time. Good luck!